If you prefer to have public transport near you, this condo might not be for you. There is an upcoming new launch, Faber Residences, that will be launching soon in October. It's developed by Guacoland and it will TOP by 2029. So one of the highlights of this project is its low land bid cost. Most new GLS sites in OCR are hitting record highs. You have like Bayshore closing at 1388 PSF PPR, Chuan Grove at 1376 PSF PPR, but Faber Residences secure it at just 900 PSF PPR. And it is by the same developer who delivered the recent sell-out success at Springleaf. So, is Faber the next hidden gem of Clementi that buyers shouldn't miss? Okay, so today, how we're going to do the video, we're going to talk about first, the project itself. Number two, we're going to use our 7-step P.I.C method to review the project. So this is the same method we have managed to help hundreds of our buyers, including ourselves, profit 6 to 7 digit figures from our property purchase. And if you want to find out what the 7-step P.I.C system is, watch this video, link in the comments below. And number three, lastly, we will give you 3 reasons why you should consider this project. If you have been watching us and haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, it will mean a lot to us if you did. Thank you. So first up, what is this project? So this is Faber Residences and it is a 399 unit development in Clementi itself along Faber Walk. It is rare. Why? Because the Faber landed enclave has always been low density and is highly held for years. There are no new launches for many years until recently. It's also a low-rise development and like I mentioned earlier, it's located in the landed enclave right beside Pandan River. So a little bit of background about this piece of land here. So Guacoland bidded this land at a very low rate of 900 PSF, okay, which means that Faber enters the market at a much cheaper land bid price as compared to many other OCR sites. And as usual, we will be doing our review based on our 7-step P.I.C method. So step 1, entry price. So the first thing I want to talk about is the land bid price itself. So Faber Walk GLS site was acquired at 900 PSF PPR. So if you add construction, financing and overheads, the break-even price is around 1682 PSF. Developers usually aim for a 20 to 30% margin, which puts the expected launch range at 2018 to 2187 PSF. So now, let's compare this with the other GLS sites in the OCR region that has yet to be launched. For example, we have Bayshore at 1388 PSF PPR. So if you look at a break-even at 2343, with 20 to 30% profit, right, Bayshore will maybe looking at a launch price of 2811 PSF to 2046 PSF. So it's about 2008 to 3000. And FYI, that is the current CCR pricing for some of the projects. For example, River Green or even the RCR projects like Promenade Peak, for example. Next, we also had Chuan Grove, which is at OCR. The land price was 1376 PSF PPR. If you're looking at a break-even price of about 2327 and with a 20 to 30% profit, we will be looking at a PSF of about almost 2008 again to 3025 PSF. Again, it is another current CCR pricing out there. And of course, we have another GLS, which is Lakeside Drive. It was sold at 1132 PSF PPR. So with the break-even price of say 1996 with 20 to 30% profit, we're looking about the launch price of 2395 to 2595, closer to 2004 to 2006 PSF. So while the other GLS sites actually entering the market at 1132 to 1388 PSF land cost, Faber entered at just $900 PSF PPR. This is a very clear value gap there. So what that means is that you will enter at most probably a much safer entry price, stronger margin of safety as compared to the rest of the OCR, and definitely more upside potential. Next, compare it with the neighboring resale. For example, we have Twinview, which is recently transacted at 1976 PSF. We have Whistler Grand, transacted at 2064 PSF, and Park Clementi's average PSF of 2063 PSF, and even a record high of 2575 PSF. So if you compare to the neighboring resale, if Faber Residences launched between 2018 to 2187 PSF, I would say that the entry price is very, very acceptable, because if the resale around it is already transacting at such prices, let alone a brand new launch project. Now let's take a look at the quantum based on the sizes. So if let's say we are looking at a launch price of between 2001 and in worst case scenario, let's put it all the way until 2006. So based on the PSF of 2001 all the way to 2006, the 2-bedroom, we're looking at lowest if it's 2001, we're looking at quantum of 1.356. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, and if it launches at 2006, for example, it will be 1.679, almost 1.7 mil. The 3-bedder, if it's 2001 PSF, okay, we're looking at 1.673, ends up in the higher range of 2006 PSF, we're looking at about 2 mil, around there. And for the 4-bedder, if it's 2001 PSF, we're looking at 2.349 mil, and if it's 2006, for example, the highest maybe 2.9. For the 5-bedroom, if you're looking at 2001 PSF, we're looking at 3.118 mil. and all the way up to 3.86 mil if it's 2006 PSF. And if you compare the PSF to our base limit chart, you will see that it is well placed within the OCR price tag. Now, let's move on to step 2 of our P.I.C system, which is rentability. Faber Residence is actually in an area that will attract mainly own stay buyers. Okay, so Faber, that area, landed enclave and all this. But a property's rentability will actually determine its popularity and thus affecting its future resale value. So let's take a look at the rentability in that area as well. So one thing we know for sure is that Clementi is one of the strongest rental belts in Singapore because of its location between the west and the central. It's a mature estate in a very highly sought after area. And it also comes with many tenant catchment areas. For example, when it comes to education, you have your NUS, you have your UWC, you have your Dover Court International School, you have your Japanese school, plenty of international students, expat families around the area, creating steady rental demand. At the same time, you also have your healthcare and research tenant catchment areas. For example, your NUH, your Science Park, your Biopolis, your One North, all these are nearby. So you have your doctors, your researchers, your international professors all wanting to rent in the area. And not forgetting future jobs, we have your Jurong Lake District, your upcoming Singapore's next biggest business district, and your Jurong Innovation District, upcoming advanced manufacturing hub, which will add thousands of jobs in that area, which means more jobs, more people, more demand as well. The good thing about all these tenant catchment area is that whether you hold a small 2-bedder or bigger, say for example a 4 or 5-bedder, there will always be demand because the smaller units you appeal to, for example, your international students or your young doctors or young professionals, and the larger ones for your expat families around that area. So if you do have any questions regarding Faber Residence, and if you'd like to find out more information on this upcoming new launch and how it may benefit or affect you as a consumer, do feel free to reach out to our number over here. Just send us a WhatsApp and our team will be very happy to hear from you. The third step in our P.I.C system is where we evaluate the future transformation in the area which can drive long-term capital appreciation. So the West, as we all know, is undergoing massive changes, especially around Jurong. So there are 2 master plans that actually stand out. First, Jurong Innovation District. So, it's an advanced manufacturing and R&D hub. And we also have Jurong Lake District, which is said to be the Singapore's next largest business district. So all this transformation is going to bring tons of happenings, job opportunities, people, demand to the area. So on top of that, the Jurong Region Line, the JRL, is actually under construction. So you have Pandan Reservoir MRT and Jurong Town Hall MRT, both walkable from Faber Residence. It will be about 8 to 9 minute walk. 2027, 2028, even before TOPs, residents here will actually be directly connected to the rest of Singapore. So the good thing about buying before all these transformations take place is that it actually gives you the opportunity to ride on the future growth and hence increasing your capital appreciation. Okay, so the next step in our P.I.C, which is the 4th step, is pull factors. So understanding what makes a location so attractive to both buyers and tenants. Okay, so this is a big one for families. Faber Residence is within 1 kilometer to Nan Hua Primary. It is one of the most highly sought after schools in Singapore. Why? Because it's both a SAP school and a GP school. And we do see from past statistics that properties within 1 kilometer of Nan Hua always enjoy a very strong resale demand. And at the same time, Faber Residence is also within 1 to 2 kilometers to, we have Clementi Primary, Pei Tong, Tifa, and Fairfield Methodist as well. And when it comes to secondary and tertiary, you have Nan Hua High, you have ACS Independent, NUS, Singapore Polytechnic, and plenty of international schools around the area as well. And when it comes to unique lifestyle offering, Faber Residence is actually right beside Pandan River itself. So you have the Ulu Pandan Park connector. So you ask me, it is a great area. If you live around the area, if you're a West person or if you know the area well, you see that it's actually a very great area for evening stroll where you can bring the kids cycling and it's surrounded by nature. So if you ask me, this location, it has a very good blend of schools plus lifestyle that makes this location desirable, especially to own stay buyers. And FYI, if you don't already know, nature raised housing prices. So the next step we have is the 5th step, connectivity, accessibility, and amenities. So when it comes to MRTs, the nearest one would be the upcoming Pandan Reservoir as well as Jurong Town Hall, which is around 8 to 9 minute walk. Yes, it is not right next to the Faber Residence itself, but then it is still within walkable distance to it. And if you ask me, based on historical past developments around the area, most likely, don't quote me for it, but most likely a developer may put in a shuttle bus because a lot of the developments within the area all have this shuttle bus service to the nearest train station, or some even bring them to Clementi Market and things like that. So then again, Faber is also not too far from Clementi MRT itself and Jurong East Interchange. So when it comes to shopping and amenities, within walking distance, we we have the New West Mall, so we have a couple of eateries over there. At the same time, we also have Clementi Mall, West Coast Plaza, and 321 Clementi for your daily needs. And just 10 minutes away, you have Gem, Westgate, and IMM, plenty of shopping, grocery, lifestyle needs in that area. Faber Residence also has very easy access to AYE itself. So 10 minutes drive will bring you to One North, 8 minutes drive to Jurong 2nd CBD. So if you ask me, the location itself gives you the best of both worlds. So you have the calm, private, nice, serene, landed enclave, but yet you have easy access to all your city convenience. Sixth step in our P.I.C system is to conduct a development review. So let's take a look at the bedroom mix itself. So when it comes to bedroom mix, we actually have 50% of 3-bedder and then another 30% of 4 and 5-bedder. This is a very good mix, especially so because number one, like I mentioned, this location targets mainly own-stay buyers. And in Singapore, majority of our property buyers are families. So if you have your bigger unit mix, your 3, 4, and 5-bedder, families, which is your main buyers, your resale will be a lot easier because those are the main buyers looking to buy properties in Singapore. At the point of recording, unfortunately, we do not have the site plan yet. But here's what we know, okay? That Faber Residence itself, pretty special because of the scale and design. So number one, it is 399 units. If you ask me, it's a very good size. It's not your mega big project of 1,000, 2,000 unit kind of project. But 399 is a very good size, okay? It is not your boutique too small where you cannot support transactions. 399 is a good size where you can still have very healthy transactions happening within the development itself. So it's only 5-story high. So you have your resort style design, which is rare for Clementi, but because this is, like I mentioned, it's nearer to the Faber, your landed enclave site. So it gives you a very nice resort landed feel. So as I mentioned earlier, the Faber enclave has always been low density and it has been tightly held for years and there were no new launches in the recent years until now. So the scarcity alone actually make this project pretty desirable. And just as important, the developer itself. So developer, Faber Residence, it's Guacoland. And as you guys already know, Guacoland is a name that all of us are pretty familiar with. Delivered many sell-out success. For example, in the Lentor area, you have Lentor Modern and the Lentor Mansion. And most recently, we have Springleaf Residences where they sold 92% itself during launch day itself. So the strong demand also proved that Guacoland know exactly what it takes to capture what the buyers like and what buyers want. And on top of that, Guacoland, as we all know, they are known for their quality furnitures and integrated developments as well. I don't know about you, but my point of view is that I think Guacoland developer brand that many Singaporeans associate themselves with or have very high confidence and high faith in. Let me give you an example. Okay, most recently, one of our friends actually bought Springleaf Residence. One of the strongest reasons is because it's by Guacoland. And apparently people, when they hear the brand Guacoland, they have faith and confidence that, oh, the project will do very well or it will have nice layout and nice finishes and quality. So I think the fact that developers Guacoland speaks a lot about this project as well. Okay, but that's just my point of view. Okay, so next we have the last step, which is step 7, your layout and view. So as of now, the layout is not out yet, but we do have the unit size. Okay, so the units in the development itself ranges from 2-bed, 2-bath all the way to 5-bedroom. So you have your smaller units that may suit your young couples, maybe some investors, and your larger units will definitely appeal to own-stay buyers or your families upgrading from the existing condos, your HDB, or even hosting multi-generation household. Try to compare Faber to Springleaf Residence, which is the latest sell-out project by Guacoland. Because Springleaf did so well, right? The fact that 92% is sold within the launch day itself. Okay, let's take a look at their unit sizes and let's compare. Okay, so Faber Residence, the 2-bedroom standard size is 646. This is actually similar to the standard 2-bedroom in Springleaf Residence itself, same size, 646 itself. When it comes to the 3-bedroom unit, Faber, we have a size ranging from 797, 861 to 1033. Springleaf, your basic one starts from 786, so I think quite similar. Then they also have a standard which is about 900 over square feet and the plus, which is the 1023. So I believe that for Faber, it will be very similar, that you have 3 different sizes, probably a basic, standard or plus. And when it comes to 4-bedder, so the size ranges from 1119 to 1270. Only there was only a single layout of 1227. So let's take a look. Maybe we are in for some changes or surprises over there because they have 2 sizes over there. And for the 5-bedroom unit, Faber, we're looking at 1485 square feet. Springleaf, they actually gave a range. So 1453 to 1475. So if you take a look here, the 5-bedroom size of Faber is actually bigger than the one in Springleaf. So for those of you who already visited Springleaf previously, you will have a good feel of how the units are. And I would say that for the 5-bedder, it's actually bigger. So it's actually bigger than what you would expect. Next, let's talk about facing. So for Faber Residence, the northeast facing actually gives you an unblocked view of the landed estate, whereas the west actually faces the greenery, park connector, and a little bit of the water view. Unfortunately, the south will be facing the expressway. A lot of projects near the expressway itself, we believe that developers will actually do some acoustic treatment to reduce that noise over there. So, in summary, why should you seriously consider Faber Residence? Let me give you 3 reasons for it. Number 1, safe entry price. So at 900 PSF land bid, right, Faber is actually much lower than your upcoming OCR, for example, your Bayshore, your Trung Grove, and your Lakeside. So you will be entering at a lower price as compared to the other upcoming projects. That means that you have more margin of safety. And not forgetting that the neighboring projects are already selling at almost the same kind of PSF. And not to forget, a HDB, a 4-room HDB in Clementi itself is already selling at 1.14 million. So you will have plenty of upgraders and potential buyers. Number 2, top schools and lifestyle. Okay, without having to say, it is within 1 kilometer to Nanhua Primary. And second part, it's surrounded with greenery, park connectors. You have a calm, landed, enclave environment. And if you ask me, this is a very rare mix of education, nature, and convenience over here. Number 3, future growth. So upcoming, we have Jurong Innovation District, Jurong Lake District, and the new MRT lines. So technically speaking, you are buying into one of Singapore's biggest transformation story. And this will actually ensure both, number 1, rental demand and long-term capital appreciation. So if you'd like to receive more information on Faber Residence, the preview dates, as well as the floor plan or brochure, do feel free to send us a text at this number and we will get back right to you. And before you leave, please do remember to help me hit the like and share button and press on the notification button to subscribe to more videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.